Welcome back, welcome back. Today in Kuala Lumpur, a new Prime Minister of Malaysia was sworn in. But the same old party still holds the power. Najib Razak of the UMNO party succeeds Abdullah Badawi of the UMNO party. Mr. Badawi in turn took over from the long-running Prime Minister, Dr. Mahathir, also of the UMNO party. Dr. Mahathir was in London this week before jetting back to Kuala Lumpur for the ceremony. And I took the opportunity to talk to him about, among other things, the new Prime Minister. Dr. Mahathir, it's very good to see you again.
Thank you.
Very good to see you again. Tell me, we're on the verge of an exciting, important weekend in Malaysia this weekend,
yes,
because the previous Prime Minister, Mr. Abdullah Badawi, steps down and the new Prime Minister, Najib Razak, comes in. You were, I think, very much in favour of Mr. Abdullah stepping down, weren't you?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Why was that? That was because...
Well, he didn't perform very well, and he brought in a culture that is not good for the country. For example, he involved his family in government affairs and in party affairs. That's wrong.
Yeah. You mean corruption or...
Yes, there are elements of corruption in his administration. Of course, it's not easily proven, but people know there has been corruption.
And the new Prime Minister, would he be your choice too, Mr. Razak?
Well, I promoted him for the deputy's post before, and normally the deputy succeeds the Prime Minister, and I would say that he would make a better Prime Minister than the previous one.
Now, you in fact said you wouldn't rejoin politics in any way as long as Mr. Abdullah was Prime Minister. But now you have decided this week, beginning of this week, that you will, in that sense, take on the membership of the party, your membership of the party again, under Mr. Razak. Is that right?
Not quite right. I didn't say I would give up politics until he steps down. What I said was I will leave the party and I will not rejoin the party as long as he remains the Prime Minister. Now that he is no longer the Prime Minister, I think I'm not doing anything contrary by rejoining the party. And
rejoining the party, will you also get involved as an advisor and as a consultant and well, maybe foreign secretary or whatever? I mean, you know.
I wouldn't take any designated post, but I would be happy to help the government in whatever way I can.
In whatever way you can.
Yes.
And what is the most urgent problem of the government in Malaysia? I suppose it is the same problem of the rest of the world. It's the economic situation. Or has all the reforms and very successful economic reforms and policies that you had, has that protected Malaysia from the current credit crunch, or is Malaysia suffering too?
We are less affected. We are affected because we are a trading nation, but we are less affected because we have not been involved in investing in American hedge funds or anything like that. So to that extent, we are not going to suffer. But of course, because we have lost a lot of trade, our economy will shrink, will contract. But that is not the problem that is faced. That's not the only problem faced by the government. More importantly is whether the government party would be able to regain its stature and would be accepted by the people since our very poor performance in the 2008 election.
That's right, because UMNO, the party that has in fact been the party of government ever since Malaysian independence, hasn't it? And through all your period in power. And then it's had setbacks, as you said, and there are three by-elections coming up that they will hope to revive and win. I mean, but that is the first crisis or challenge for the new Razak government, isn't it?
Yes, that is. But the effect of his becoming the Prime Minister would not be felt so soon. So they will have a difficult time with these 3 by-elections. But I hope and I think they would do better than if there had been no change in the leadership.
So that will be, you still think that will be an improvement. Do you think that the new Prime Minister needs to address the fact that the Malay dominance of government and life is considerable in Malaysia, and the Chinese feel that they don't get as much of a say as they might have? Do you think there needs to be a certain balancing between the 2 races?
I think the balance was quite good for over 50 years. It worked quite well. There was not that much racial tension in Malaysia as you would see in other multiracial countries. But when the government becomes weak, their extremists on both sides tend to challenge the government. The dissatisfaction is not only found among the non-Malays. The Malays too feel that they are not being well treated.
What do you think will be the important change for the better? Because obviously you said it would be for the better, about a Razak government. What will they do better than the Abdullah government?
I think they will not be so corrupt, and nor would they involve their family in government affairs.
Very important change.
That is very important, yes.
And as the sort of elder statesman of Asia, how do you feel about Asia today? How do you feel that Asia is facing up to the challenges of the post-credit crunch world?
Well, Asia has done very well. The Asian countries are in a much better position to handle the present crisis than the Western countries. And they are quite rich, they have big reserves, and I think they will be able to recover much faster than the Western countries.
And what is the secret of your eternal youth? That's the other thing. Why do you look the same at, how old are you now,
84.
84, that's right.
Yeah.
As you did last time I saw you 15 years ago. What is your secret?
Well, I really don't know, but I think Malaysia's climate is good for your skin because we have a high humidity. You don't have to use moisturizers in Malaysia. That's provided for free.
Well, that's terrific. That's a great travel plug for the joys of Malaysia. Dr. Mahathir, a joy to see you again. Godspeed, bon voyage back to these great ceremonies.
Thank you very much.
Oscar-winning and hilarious actor Roberto Benigni joins me after the news headlines.